Okay, this is the beginning of the stream. Welcome everyone, and today we're gonna start you how to be a tank in this game. I'm gonna try to explain what I know best in this game, at least what I know. Uh, Before we start, I'm going to ask my friend to join me so I can explain things much more easier to everyone. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Every fall at the right side, outside.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell people what you need to do and what is the important things to cannot miss. So I should start with the attributes first. Then after that we're gonna keep going with the attributes, then the items, then the skills,
we're
and
gonna, if you
what you
ask
need to
me,
do.
because I'm
Yeah.
watching a lot of videos about this for
Okay.
builds and stuff. They start with gear.
Okay.
They shows gear,
We will
what
start with the.
perks.
Okay. We will start with the gear as well. It doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, yeah, you start with gear.
Okay.
Then you talk about, I mean, what artifact is best, what is fighting now, what you have to
All right.
do. After this, you talk about attributes, then skill on fighting, like.
Okay. So
How to not waste your fucking taunt on everything. How to, you know better for tanking, I mean.
yeah. Okay. Let me start now. So, all right.
Are you practicing or what?
I'm not practicing. I just started. I'm just gonna
Let's go,
tell you what you
baby.
need to do. All right, with the
Okay.
gear. Okay, we're gonna go for the gear. So the frigid down gear is the best gear in the game. You know why? Because there is no item which is comes with enchanted ward and elemental aversion at the same time. So as a tank or as a heavy player, you must have the frigid down gears. Head, hand, pants, and boots. You need all four of them, like for sure. And for the fifth, which is chest piece, you need the void dark plate. You can get from the mutation barnacles, I believe. Yeah, it was barnacles, right?
Yes.
So you can get this artifact
From the
chest
last
piece
what?
from the barnacles, which is you have to do it in a mutation. It's going to drop on the last boss eventually. So I see some ideas and some people's opinions on this, but while you're tanking, the health it's not necessary. So let's check. Do I have any item with the health? I don't have it. You see, I don't use health. It's going to give me 2.5, so 12.5% health more, which is 1.2 or what? Let's say 2,000 HP more, which is 1 or 2 damage. In the PvE section of the game, 2,000 HP is not a big deal. But what you can put rather than health is slash conditioning, trust conditioning, skills that you have. For example, what I did is a slash conditioning. Someone hits me with a slash, even it's a PvE animal or PvP person, it doesn't matter. It's automatically kicks in and works for you. So you will get 5% damage absorption. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
you cannot put just a slash conditioning. You have to put like this way. So for the hand, I'm still trying to do best, which is what is the best for my build. I'm a general PvP player, so I'm trying the Tony reflection, which is irrelevant with our subject right now. But you can use trust, you can use slash as well, you can use fire, you can use whatever you wanted. For the pants, as you can see, elemental version. Sorry, you cannot see. I'm gonna show it from here. So for the pants, you got elemental version and an enchanted ward. What else? Health? No, we don't need. We need the Sundering Shockwave, which is our primary weakening skill. So I'll put that in it. For the boots, also there's a skill. So there is no need for health. And while we're doing this, so the armor is okay, and the chest piece, it has to be sturdy energy because when you getting when you getting a 30% low on stamina, you need a stamina regen. You gotta use on your shield or your chest, but not on your shield. Never use this on your shield. Use it on your chest. I will explain why in a moment. So when you get the sturdy energy on your chest piece, on the void dark blade, everything is set it up, and you're just being a tank without doing anything. Normally in this game, when you're being a tank, that means you have to hold your shield with the right click, blocking your shield, then you are tank. When you lower your shield, you are not a tank because you are gonna get the same damage with any other heavy player. But with these perks, so extra armor perks, which is slash conditioning, thrust conditioning, and other conditionings, you will be more tanky every step. And when we come to the shield, shield is the important one. You gotta use sturdy for like sturdy is your main perk on your tower shield. And enchanted ward is always good because it's going to be lower 4% on every single attack. On AI, I mean on mobs and on players and everyone. And you gotta add a skill on it. So if you want to find a perfect shield for PvE, you gotta use this shield, the same shield that I'm using right now. I'm not saying those are the best perks, but for me, they're working well. I never die in the PvE section of the game. I'm being a perfect tank. Everyone likes it, and I enjoy that time. Even in the hive and the gorgon, I'm getting like uh, I'm getting bored because it's too easy. So with the items, with the weapons, we have to go forward there. So for the items, it doesn't matter on your sword. You gotta use, obviously, you gotta use carnelian gems. Life steal, flame, attunement, and vicious. Doesn't matter on your sword. Sword is not a big deal. You can even use a hated, refreshing move. You can do whatever you want. But the best thing that you can get for the sword is a refreshing move, enchanted, and lifesteal or something like that. It will be work. It doesn't matter. For the hammer, you definitely need Sundering Clear Out. I have an extra hammer for the Sundering Clear Out. Extra hammer with extra perks. So normally I'm PvP player, as you know. So I use stretch and recovery and a life stealing with the skill. But for the PvE section of the game, you can choose a prognatator. What was the name? Let me check. Len, wait there. I'm gonna show the hammer for a second.
Yeah.
You can drop that hammer. It's so easy to drop, and you can add a skill on it and use it. Makes perfect item for you for PvE because I when I say PvE, it contains open world as well. So chess runs, boss kills, and everything. So yeah, this hammer, treacherous strikes, life stealing, and you can add a skill on it. And getting this is easy. It's like a level 8, level 60 mob, ancient mob. You can kill, farm it easily, and get it. And with the gypsum kiln, you can just upgrade whatever you want. So I got like extra ones over here to do better tanking. I might use it, but I never change it. For example, this one, the Thrachan's Rent, can be usable. on PvE section. So if we go to the amulet ring and earring, I can say a couple things about it. So at amulet, I always use trust protection, but if you have more something more than trust, which is like slash, void, flame, ice, whatever, for the dungeon, you can use it. Yeah, you can use it for the dungeon. But health in divine is necessary. So if you got a health, you got a 7% more health, and if you got a divine, you will get a 10% more effectiveness from all of the health incomings. I'm going to explain why it is so important. So for the ring, you got to be use strike damage, hurting for extra stamina, and leeching. Leeching is my is a part of my build. Some people are using something else, like heart. What was the name? The heart rune deletes all the debuffs on you, which is no need right now because the most dangerous debuff cannot be erased by skills. You have to wait for the timer. So for the earring, I get the creatine earring from dungeon, I believe. I don't remember where did I get it. So regen, hell healing hurt, and fortifying toast. So when I need to drink a potion, I drink obviously, and I get 20% fortify for 8 seconds. So lots of people going to use refreshing potion, the timer. It is 10%. That it was like 28 or 33% before, but they changed it to the 10%. So like 10 seconds of 10% is 1 second. So for 1 second, it's not worth it, you know. So I think about it. I change it with the fortifying toast, healing heart, and regeneration. So when you get regen, when you get divine, and you get leeching, and you get life stealing, treacherous recovery, and life stealing on your sword, with the divine in here, you will regain 10% more. You will leech 10% more. Treacherous recovery will be 10% more. There's a like big calculation in it. Every single attack that I'm doing with sword, with hammer, with skills, I'm getting some health back from the mobs, from the players, from everything and everyone. And for the rune, for the health rune, I'm most of the time using the mending form, which is heals you with some portion of your health, and it gives you fortify. It automatically gives fortify to everyone, but the mending form is just good because when you use a healing, you will get 10% more healing. You know, so let's say if it's going to be thousand health points when you use it, the divine will kick in and it will give you 10,000 and hundreds. So it's a win-win. And when you use potion, you will get 4K, for example. When does it the divine kicks, you will get 10%, and let's say you got it 4.5%, 4.5 thousand HP with one potion, and a fortifying you will get for 8 seconds. So in the game, when you're holding your shield, you need to drink a potion. You're dropping your shield. You don't have grit. You don't have anything while you're drinking potion. But with this, you will have a fortify while you're drinking a potion. So for the for the record, I'm gonna show a couple things to you. So dual player. Okay, Len, could you please
Mm-hmm.
attack me once, and let's see the how many damage you're going to do to me. Just hit me once. Okay, 59. Oh, you got a buff. Change your weapon. Do with something else, not rend. Just to do
Yes.
with the void. Yeah, do it. 389. Okay, the main damage. So when I'm drinking this, do it again. 89 to 69. So I'm getting less damage because I got a fortify. So I don't need it. I don't need to lose HP, and I don't need to use what was the name? I don't even remember the name of the perk. So refreshing toast. So
Especially post, yeah.
the concept the potion timer is like 10% low. Is useless. For example, so the tricks right now. Get your void, start attacking me. So when you're about to lose stamina and you don't want to get hit because the enemy, the opponent is so powerful, you're just going to click heavy and do heavy because while you're doing a heavy, you will regain some stamina. And while you're doing a heavy attack, you will get grit. All right? You will get grit. Each heavy attack will give you grit. So when you have a grit, you're getting less damage from every kind of attacks. You understand? Normally, it should gives you light and heavy attacks, but they change it to the heavy attack. So if you're in a problem zone, you got to be heavy attack and regain some stamina back. And for the skills as well, just hit me, lower my stamina. So, oh, I just pushed you a little bit, refreshing my skills on you and weak debuffs on you, and I'm getting more stamina back. With my skills, when my shield is up, I'm getting 45. So less damage. Oh, my stamina is ending. Just hit 2 more heavy attacks and earn some stamina back. Even if you can do this when you're low HP, low on skills, so the all skills are on the cooldown. You can just click on this. In the meantime, you can regain some and get more fortify and then boost. And you can even change your weapon, do a heavy attack, and regain some uh, stamina as well. Or you can just do some heavy attack and skills, refreshing all of the weakness on the enemy, and you can get it back. You got it? And also, I want to show my skills to you. So the constitution should be 350. I'm on a luck gear right now. So when you active grid, damage reduction will 10%. So you will get a 10% less damage when you're doing a heavy attack. So imagine you are in the boss will drop you, but you don't want to drop it. You have to risk your life, make a heavy attack, and get 10% less damage, and you will not slam in the ground, so you will not stop, and you keep attacking. You know, it is good. And you're refreshing your weakness. So your team will be able to deal more damage. So the main thing, 350 constitution, and the rest, which is 250 on strength. And when you hit the 250 in a strength, you will get 33% stamina regenerate with the basic melee attacks. So even while you're holding a shield, if you do an attack, you will regain some of the stamina that you have. So for the perks, so I can basically say all the way right and put those in it. So this skill is good for taking an aggro, stopping the enemy. You can always switch to something else, but I prefer to use this one. And this, I think everyone knows what are those and what is the importance of those. And I can only say a couple things. I'm gonna keep it simple. So the tower shield, the one with the shield, this perk is so good because when you're blocking a hit, extend the duration of 5% of your buffs. So you have a fortify buff and you keep getting a damage, you will increase seconds of your buffs, so you will be more tanky every single time when you get hit while you're blocking. And this perk, all healing and regeneration is 10% more. So you got a divine, you got a health, you got potions, you got a heart rune, and you got a leeching lives. Everything is 10% more. So perfect. And this one. Normally the tanks doesn't use this, but I use it. So when you do that, when you do there's these two skills to the enemy. When it hits the enemy, you will regain 15 stamina. And if you got 250 strength, you will regain a little bit as well. And you're performing attacks as in the same time, you will regain even more. So it says it's going to give you 15, but everything is triggering up, and you will get at least 50, not 50. So it's like a combo situation. And for the defender's resolve, I'm not gonna explain what it is, but I always saying this is the most important skill on a tank in PvE, in PvP. Every time use this. Every time that you have a possibility to use it, just use it because you will get a base health, uh, you will get a base damage reduction and other things. For the hammer, there's a lot of types of hammer players. What I can say is the best for the hammer is uh, is this. So basically, you got a shockwave on your hand. I mean, sorry, on your skill tree, and you got a clear out and armor breaker. Armor breaker is necessary because you need to break the armors of the enemies like fast as soon as possible. Gorgon has stamina bar, some boss has stamina bar. If you got an armor breaker, it will be much more easy for your team. But you can obviously go for something else, but I don't recommend you. It being a tank is not about to be having taking all of the damage and making damage. You need to be alive. The goal is being alive with the tank. So let me tell you. So if you're surrounded by two or more enemies, you got 20% more armor, which is so good. If you run, you will take 10% less damage. If you apply a debuff with Shockwave, you will do 15% more damage. Shockwave and the Clear Out will give you the 35% of the damage as a hail to you. This is so important. And for here, basic attacks, armor penetration 10%. Yes, this is necessary. Gain and power on heavy attacks. So imagine with a 300 cons, when you will get a grit and you will get a 10% less damage while you're performing heavy attacks. With the empower on a heavy attacks gives you 20% more damage. Yeah, and and also you will get 12% damage reduction with this perk as well, hardened steel. So you will be, even if you don't use 300 cons, you will be have a grit with the heavy attack of hammer, and you can just smash a heavy attack, do lots of damage, and at the same time protect yourself, armor up, and with this perk, you reduce your cooldowns by 7% each attack. It's like a combo, you know? And increase the heavy attack base damage by 15% against a target under 30% health. So if you try to kill person, let's PvP. You and let's say PvP, it has a 30% health. You will start dealing damage 15% more, which is so good. Or let's say you're in a dungeon Every single MMO game has this. When the boss HP is lower, people are going to make more mistake because try they want to kill the boss as soon as possible, and with that they making mistakes and they end up dead. So your team is going to lose some DPS, and with this you can do some more damage and more useful to whole team. You got me? For the armor breaker, everyone knows the armor breaker, and it also adds grids. Grid means 12% damage reduction, and it also inflicts rend for 30%, which is target's armor. So your target's armor will be 30% less. It is not good for the light, but it is perfect for the heavy builds. And increased armor breaker base damage by 25%, targets above 70%. So your opening can be with this. Yeah. So you can just copy paste the skills that you want to use. You can just copy paste and use it. I'm gonna show one more time to the shield section. You can change the perks of this. So final attacks inflicts rend to the enemy, which is so good. And you can erase that and that one and add this one. The third attack, your light attack chain, deal 15 more base damage and generate threat. So you can use this perk as a holding the enemy threat as high as possible while you're doing a basic attacks without skills. So the aggro will be on you, whatever you do. And you can add this one. So you delete these two, you can add this one, and you will get an empower with the 30% empower for 5 seconds when you do a heavy attack. But remember, when you're doing a heavy attacks gives you a grit. 12% less damage taken. Heavy attacks, light attacks will be give you the chance to regain 33% stamina, then stamina regain rate. So you're basically refreshing your stamina while doing a heavy attack, and you get an armor, and then you will get empower. Then you can go for the heavy chain, sorry, light chain. So you will do more damage while you're doing more aggro and more tanky. So everything is related with the getting armored, getting tougher and tougher with each attack that you get from the enemy. Because when you're holding a shield, you gotta fortify. You just hit 3 times with the normal slashing. You regain your stamina. You get some armor. In the meantime, you will get some weakness on the enemy and the shit like that. It's so good. So what else we need to tell? So let's say you will get kicked out of the arena in the glacial town. You have to stay on the arena, right? So if you do light attack, you will be kicked out. So if someone using a clear out skill or just this, you just making a heavy attack be a gritted and cannot be moved. So simple. I'm going to add some dungeon runs to this video so you can see how being a tank, all right, in the dungeons. And I will add more PvP videos and how I'm going to use my skills and the other things. Then, yeah, it will be good. All right, Len, do you have any questions about being a tank?
Like people here, like they should watch this video very well because no one is surviving as a tank. They are playing like wrong skills, wrong protections, and wrong attributes. Like I'm as healer, I'm dropping like 3 abilities on the tank, like single heal always for the tanks. I mean the random tanks especially. Stack to the ground and beacon or orb, and they are taking one tap I'm wondering like how they are getting this shit. Like one tab. It is impossible, bro. Everyone is taking one tab.
but not
Like
me.
DPS. Yeah, but not you, of course.
So,
So they
so,
should like, yeah,
so people have to watch this, you say, and people
yeah,
have to learn it. So
yeah.
let's
They
do
should
this.
teach you your attributes, your stuff, bro. And you have to apply more videos about the dungeon. For example, like the mutation, the
Glacials
glacial.
and yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna learn from standing inside ice.
And also we can do one-on-one practicing with who wants to be a tank, you know?
Yeah.
We can do it.
Easy.
Yeah. So I will tell if someone has an idea or a question about it. We can show it. In the